Hi guys, this is Lalana. Thank you for tuning into the Sovereign Path. Today we're going to talk about the catalyst twin. What is the catalyst twin? What's the purpose of the catalyst twin? And why are they in our life? Why do they show up? And this is similar in a lot of ways to what I see around, and I've made, I have had my own videos about this topic often, which is the karmic partner. So the karmic and the catalyst, they seem to both have this really negative connotation about them. You say the catalyst twin flame, false twin flame, and then we say the karmic partner, the karmic relationship, all of those sort of things. And they all seem to fall under that similar heading of this is like the one that you don't want in your life. This is the bad one. Right? So I'm going to do another video on karmics at some point. I've done a lot of talking and working in regard to karmics on my old channel, and I'm actually releasing a book on karmic patterns as well. So the catalyst, in a similar way that people view karmics, is not here to drive you crazy, and is not here to sort of mess up the path or mess up your journey or any of those things that, we sort of have this idea that if you have met a catalyst twin flame, that this is like the fake one, the false one, all of that kind of negative stuff. And so the first thing I want to say is that the catalyst twin flame, similar to a karmic soulmate, is a member of your soul family. This is a really important thing for us to know and to remember and to understand, and it's something that we don't talk about enough. So these partnerships that come into our world, they're part of your soul family. These are people, your catalyst specifically, your catalyst is a high vibrational soulmate for you that has come into this incarnation with you to assist you down this ascension path, right? So the catalyst comes in, they have a very similar energetic frequency and a very similar blueprint to you. A very similar energetic frequency and blueprint to your twin flame. Since you and your twin flame are the same soul, you have the same soul blueprint. So they're going to feel energetically very similar to your twin flame. The eye contact is going to be, very resonant, very activating for a lot of people. The sound of their voice is also going to be very resonant and activating for a lot of people, because again, this person, this soul who is walking this path with you at this point is very close to you as a member of your soul family. So high vibrational soulmate. And the purpose for them to come in, as I said, is to assist you down the ascension path before you come into, and sometimes even after you have met your twin in the physical, but a lot of times before you've met your twin in the physical. They come in to assist you to clear away enough of the patterning and the programming and the wounds and all of that sort of stuff. So it's kind of like the catalyst, because catalyst means change, right? They're coming in to shift you. It's a tower moment. They're coming in to shift things for you, to assist you with that. And it's like a preparation to be ready to be on the true path and to actually ascend alongside your twin flame. So that sounds sort of counterintuitive. Like, I understand that. You're like, what are you talking about? My twin and I are ascending together and we are one energy, and that's what you're always saying. And that is 100% true. Twins, however, there's a lot of that preparation even before you're activated, before you're awakened, before you go through the ascension process. This is something that's been planned by you before you incarnated here. This is a plan that you have had for lifetimes before you are like, okay, it's time to ascend out of the separation consciousness, out of the third dimensional reality, and back up into unity consciousness. with my mirror soul, with my same soul, with myself, right? So there are a lot of things that go along with having that plan as you come in. And this is a lot of the times what I mean when I'm talking about divine timing. And divine timing, having certain things that we have planned to do at certain times. This is one of them. And your catalyst twin is also one of them, right? So there are some times with certain people, it's not everybody, not everyone is doing this with a catalyst twin, right? Not everyone has a catalyst that incarnates with them. But some people do, because of the amount of trauma that they have taken on, or the amount of programming or ancestral wounding. There are a lot of different reasons why we have a catalyst twin comes in. But the main reason is to shake the shit out of us and to shift us and to get us ready and prepared to be able to walk that path in a more high vibrational way when the twin magnetizes back into the physical reality. And so it's kind of looking at it like a prerequisite class that you have to take, or like a preliminary situation, and it's in your highest good. It's in your best good to have these situations in your world. No different than when I talk about all the time, these karmic relationships that look like hell and they feel awful and obsessive and they're round and round and da-da-da. But at the end of the day, that karmic is helping you break a lesson that you keep repeating. So in a similar way, the catalyst is here assisting you to the next levels of consciousness that you need to be at. And they're assisting in like sort of guiding you to the next places in your life that you need to be, right? So the ascension process, the awakening process that the twin flame activates and vice versa is life altering. It's life changing within the entire energetic structure as well as within our physical reality in the 3D. So going through these massive monumental changes takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energetic and physical and emotional and mental change. These things can be and are on the twin flame path and certainly in the awakening path. They're taxing in a lot of ways for you when you're in this human vessel. These things can be very taxing. And so there are some aspects that need to be sort of dealt with on our own before we come into that union back and forth with our same soul, with our same self. So a better way of saying that is the catalyst is coming in to assist you to be ready to handle coming face to face with yourself, basically, who is your twin. So there are some souls who need that preparatory work, that preparatory situation or situations, because some people have more than one catalyst twin that are basically getting you ready so that when you do magnetize your twin back into your world, you're ready to handle it. The fact of the matter is a lot of twins just aren't ready to handle it. And the energetics, the changes, the physicality, the emotionality, the external, the whole thing, right? This is a tower moment in every way you could possibly say. This is a tower moment. Anybody who watches tarot knows what a tower moment means. It's the ultimate shake the shit out of you change in your world. It's irreversible, it's constant, and until you come into inner union, come back into inner union, which with most people takes years, this is a long process for most people, is hard. It's hard. It's a hard thing to do. On its own, just if it's you going through an awakening and you're not a twin, you still need support from other people who are experiencing the same things that you are. And so a lot of times twins find, and the higher self decides this, can you handle coming into the alchemization process and coming into that physical aspect of the self, of the mirror that is you? Are you ready for that yet? A lot of twins aren't. A lot of twins aren't ready, which is a lot of the times why twins run, which is a lot of the times why twins push this sort of thing away. They're not ready yet. That's why it takes years for a lot of people to do this. And so when we're in those situations, the catalyst twin will come in to assist, right? And sometimes each twin has a catalyst, right? I might have a catalyst, and my twin flame might also have a catalyst that are assisting us to come back into that physical union and to be ready to handle that energy that is us, right? So when you think of it in a way of saying that, as you know, some of the other videos that I'm saying, you're never not in union, separation doesn't actually exist, and all of those things are true. You are always in union with your twin flame. They are you, you are them, you share one unified field. You cannot be separated energetically. But then we have to remember that we're experiencing everything through the separation consciousness, through a separation reality here, through ego and through the mind, and through programming and through taking on all of these belief systems and things. And so in this third dimensional reality, which we have likely, a lot of us been doing this for lifetimes, right? To allow for the soul expansion, the soul growth, and all of the other reasons that we incarnate here. So there is that feeling of, I still believe, because most of us believe, obviously we've been here for a long time, we believe that we are the ego. We believe that we're separation. We believe that the 3D exists, that this is what it is, right? Most people on earth, until you go through awakening, you're asleep and you believe that this is the truth of the reality and all it is, and all the indoctrinations and all the things that we take on. And so if you're not ready to come face to face with your truth and your energetic self and your same soul in the physical looking back at you, that can be an extremely jarring, and it's like, you know, when I haven't talked about this yet in the videos, but I will at some point, but it's one of the reasons why they say all of our multidimensional, you know, realities, and me being a multidimensional being, there are several of Lalanas on different timelines. And, you know, you hear that sort of euphemism talked about often if you're in these communities that say, if you came face to face with yourself in the same timeline, you would go crazy because you wouldn't understand it unless you were awake, right? Unless you're ascended and you're awake. But if you're coming from the third dimensional reality and you haven't gone through those processes, and you're not acquainted with the quantum fields, and you're not acquainted with the fact that you're a multidimensional expression of energy, and that means that you are existing in several different timelines and all of these sort of things, if that is a completely foreign concept to you, or if you just completely think that that's bullshit altogether, then coming face to face with your same self in a different body is going to jar the shit out of you, right? It's going to be something that it's not safe to do that. And so that being said, for some twin flames, there needs to be a lot of preparatory situation besides the normal preparation that you've come in through incarnation, and okay, this is the lifetime, it's time to wake up, right? You have all that prep, but sometimes we need more. Sometimes we've like taken on so much heaviness, and we have so much gunk going on in our chakra system energetically that we need more processing to be able to clear more stuff out before we actually meet our true twin flame and come face to face with our same energetic soul signature. That's why the catalyst comes in. So this is a gift, and I say this a lot about karmics too. These are gifts. These are part of our soul family. They are here to help you. They are here to assist you. They love you, right? They have been with you since the beginning of time, even though time's an illusion. They will be with you till the end of it, right? This is your soul family. These people, you know, that seem separate from you, these are people that souls that you've been traveling with for all of your existence, right? And your catalyst twin is going to be, like I say, a very, very similar energetic signature to your true twin. And so a lot of times we can get them confused, you know, and that's the thing. And this takes time as well. This takes experience of being on the path. This takes being on the path for quite a while. This is why a lot of people doubt and they're unsure and they go back and forth and they're like, well, maybe this was my twin, or did I already meet my twin, or I don't know, this person was, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot going on within us that is still coming up for question and coming up to the surface for clearing and for healing and transmutation. And when that's happening, the ego is still running riot with wanting to figure everything out through the mind instead of allowing things to sort of feel energetically what is actually going on. Until we're at a certain point on this path, which takes years for most people, we are not back into that energetic attunement with the true self and the embodiment of the higher self to always be able to be like, oh yeah, that's it, and I know that's it, and I don't have any doubt, because we're still moving through the mental space. And so all of these things, it's a gentle process. It's no different than when I say things like, if you were to come into union with your twin flame too early, you would burn each other's systems completely out. That sounds like an insane thing to say, but it's true. It's because you cannot hold that energetic system until the gunk of the old system that you've been running for lifetimes is clearing. This is why that I always say that there is no negotiation when it comes to ascension on the twin flame path. Because it isn't just a matter of like, oh, and I'm awake now and I'm aware of things now and whatever else. No, this is a complete and utter shift in your energetic structure. It's going from a carbon-based system to a crystalline-based system and then back to a light-based system. This takes time, and it takes a gentle hand basically to make sure that everything is running the way that it's running. And so the catalyst comes in to sort of hold your hand and lead you through this process in somewhat of a more gentle way. Because although they are extremely similar to you, and they have an extremely similar soul blueprint as you and your twin do, they are still not the same soul, right? They are still part of your soul family, but they are not the same soul as you. So the energetic dynamic, the energetic interaction between you and a catalyst is going to be more of a gentle transition for a lot of twins to shift them into that next stage of vibration and frequency that they need to hold in order to come into that physical back and forth union with the twin flame. And then once that's ready, then the twins, they can continue on their journey together and continue the ascension process together, right? Twins ascend together. So the catalyst isn't here to ascend with you. They are here to hold your hand until you get to the point where, as I said, it's time for the twin to magnetize in. So that's going to be different for everybody. This isn't like a one size fits all. The twin flame journey in general is not a one size fits all. We all have our unique situations that we came into this incarnation with to go through, to do. We all have our own soul expansion that we came in here to have. And so how the catalyst plays out in each twin's reality is going to be slightly different. It's not going to be, like I said, whatever happened with this person is exactly the same thing what happened with this person's catalyst. They are unique. Some people may have one catalyst, some people may have three, some people may not have one at all. And so to sort of, again, going back to the beginning, what I was saying is to sort of assume, and we see a lot of this, oh, it's a catalyst twin flame, or it's a false twin flame, or it's a this, or if it's a that, and that's like a super negative thing. It's not a negative thing. This is something that you need. This is something that you and your higher self and your catalyst twin and your true twin already planned. This is something that you need to have this assistance so that you're ready to come into union, physical union with your twin flame. So for a lot of twins, this is an imperative step. And I think it's really important that we understand that, and that we don't feel like, oh God, I think I was with a catalyst, and when am I going to ever meet my real twin flame? And I don't even know. And this way, and we kind of get all like choked up and kind of like in that mental space again and trying to figure everything out. And I mean, what does this mean? Is my true twin flame even incarnate here? Is this bullshit? Is this what's, if you're on this path, and so coming into that place of just, again, it's just so important on the twin flame path. Surrender, surrender, surrender. It's hard to do, and I know that, but your higher self knows way more than you in this third dimensional reality. Your higher self is the one who's guiding this. And your higher self knows way better than your ego or your mind do in regard to these sort of things. So you can go into meditation. I'm going to do a lot of videos on this. I'm going to do guided meditations as the channel moves forward and start moving into my Patreon coaching and that sort of thing. But in the meantime, you can start going into meditations. Hopefully a lot of you guys already have a daily practice of meditation. And if you don't, I think that you should start. It's very important on this path. And start, communing with your higher self. Talk to them. It's you. It's your higher self. It's the higher aspect of you. It's the highest aspect of you. Have a conversation with your higher self and ask, what are we doing? What's going on here? I'm kind of freaking out. If you haven't done this sort of thing yet, you'll be surprised to see that you'll start getting answers. You will get answered. Things will come to you. And things will start to feel more clear. So meditation is a very important thing. But as far as the catalyst, as I said, this person is here to hold your hand. This is your advocate here that's assisting you. Just like all the rest of your soul family is coming together to assist you in one way or another back into this higher aspect of you, right? As you guys hear me say, coming out of separation consciousness and shifting back into unity consciousness. This takes time, it takes patience, it takes a gentle approach, and sometimes for some twins, it takes needing to have these other, high vibrational soulmate situations come in to get us ready for the next stage of holding that energetic system that we haven't been familiar with for a long time because we've been asleep. We've forgotten who we were. Anyone who's on this planet who incarnated here and then had to go through the amnesic state and go into a sleeping state, forgetting who they were, you forgot. That's part of the deal. And so you have to really be gentle with yourself in regard to having all of these strange energies coming online and all of these awarenesses coming online as you're moving through the ascension process, and really embracing these situations that are here to assist you for your highest good, to move into that vibration that you've always been and to become familiar with it again so that it's anchored within you. And for some twins, that anchoring needs to be really well in place before you are ready to meet your same soul and the energy that they are holding and come back into that merge together, right? So that's why the catalysts show up in your world. And anytime I say things like the merge back and all of those sort of things, I feel like I have to reiterate, it just looks like you're separate in this third dimensional reality, but you're not. We've just taken on all of these programs and we've gone through this separation lens and the ego and all of these things as part of our experience. But that's not who you are. And I think it's just important that we continue to remember that you have been with your twin flame since the beginning of time, eternity. You will be with them till the end of it. You're never actually separate. You're always in union. It's just that your beliefs and the programs that you've experienced in 3D are based on separation. And so we believe that we are that separation because we've been in an amnesic state. And because we've been in an amnesic state and now we're awakening out of it, the process needs to go at the pace that the higher self deems that it needs to go, so that when you come into the embodiment of the higher frequency that you have always been, it doesn't backfire on some level and burn the circuits out and all of these sort of things that can happen on an energetic level. So this is why it goes slow. This is why the catalyst is here. They're here to hold your hand. They're here to help you through the process. This is a gift. It's not a negative thing. It doesn't mean that you're not going to meet your twin flame. It doesn't mean that you're not going to come into, partnership or union or whatever the path is for you and your twin flame in this lifetime. It doesn't mean that that's not going to happen. And in actuality, what it means is it's giving you a greater shot to have that happen because you're going through all of these preliminary stages with the catalyst to get you ready for what's coming. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that that helps. Have an awesome day.